Alrighty, once again, sorry it's been so long since my last upload. I've basically been working on levels and blockouts, and that's not really there's not really a good way to kind of showcase that without kind of giving away what the whole game is going to be about. So here's me playing through one of the blockouts that I've been making. I wrote them all down on a notebook paper first, and then I wasn't sure if they were actually going to take that long or if I know how many levels there's going to be. How long those levels are is going to be a pretty strong factor for how long the game is. And so I kind of wanted to test some of the blockouts just to make sure that they actually played that long. So here's also a notebook actor that I made. I think I'm going to have some way for the camera to see what it says as well. Um, but yeah, I've added these rotating doors. So you rotate that, the door goes up, and with some of them the door also comes back down. I thought that one did and then stared at it and then realized it did not in fact come back down. There's two ways out of this room. There's a way where you can fight a bunch of enemies, or there's this way where you can basically climb the whole time. And so yeah, I want a couple different routes in order to complete the goal. So some stuff where you're kind of doing you can either play combat or you can kind of play adventure is how I kind of want it to be set up. There's still some jankery in the climbing. I've kind of fixed it, but yeah, it still don't look great. Animation stuff is hard, it turns out. Even just getting a climbing animation and applying that is hard, because for whatever reason, it moves the entire mesh upwards. So you end up staring out of Reba's chest for whatever reason. So that's less than ideal. But I can work on that. I can get that fixed. For now, I made this giant climbing place as kind of an alternative to the combat zone area. There are more combat zone areas later on, so I do end up going through them. For right now, though, I kind of chose to go this way, just to show that I wanted to have multiple different paths to the goal. This map is fairly linear. It's got parallels in certain places, but it is just kind of go through, find goal. I plan on having some that are less so like that, and I'm still trying to work on making them feel more like natural and less gamey than kind of just complete one room, complete next room, complete room after that. Not that there's anything wrong with that approach, but like it's not quite what I want with this. Like I want more of a feeling of exploration and continuation. And so yeah, that's something I'm going to work on a little bit. But for right now, yeah, this is kind of an area that's free of enemies. I might have a spot later on. This is kind of one of the exciting things about realizing that you're working with VR. I might have a spot later on where you have to shoot while you climb, because I think that would be cool and extremely difficult. Getting the player to do two different things with each hand feels like a fun way to like really lean into the VR aspect of this game. Like hold the flashlight but also shoot the enemies, or climb the rocks but also shoot the enemies. Just kind of doing something while shooting enemies. I don't know. But yeah, this climbing section is actually kind of long. It's a bit longer than I had anticipated. This is kind of the first video also where I'm recording the audio after having recorded the video as opposed to at the same time. And so, yeah, that's different and new. I think I want to add a camera for over-the-shoulder shots. That way, whenever you're looking at the notebook, you can also be reading along, or the spectators can also be reading along. I think that'd be a nifty idea. The rock walls are so easy to make, and like it's engaging to do, but watching this section, it is a very long section. Originally, I was reading H.P. Lovecraft's At the Mountains of Madness for inspiration on kind of what I wanted to do as far as this game to make it more of a horror game, but I'm starting to realize that a better source might actually be Indiana Jones. It it feels more like that kind of a situation, especially since I don't know that anime can be that scary. Um, there's definitely horror anime, but it's not. It feels like with anime, it's trying too hard to be cool or sexy for me to ever be scared of it. And I mean, that might just be a me thing, but yeah, the camera's freaking out right here. But I don't know. This game feels like it would work a little bit better as more of an adventure game than as a horror game. Almost to the edge now. To the next level. Next room. But yeah, just having stuff like this, where some rooms it's just an interaction kind of thing, and other rooms it's like a combat thing. I feel like that would kind of give people different ways to play the same thing. So there's two ways into this room. That other one would have been if I had just gone through and fought all the enemies. This room, there's not really a way around. You do have to fight the enemies here. As soon as I got up here, somebody spotted me. But now they have a cooldown, and they'll start searching for you, so that works a lot better. And the knife infinitely respawns, so that's nice. The knife infinitely respawns, and so does the debit card. The listening mode, I'm still not totally sure about. The way I have it set up right now, you can still move fast while listening, but you can't turn because it's on the same hand as the joystick. So you can turn your head, but it's not really the same. I think it might be better to have it set up so that it's just a crouch thing. I'm not sure how to set it up so that it's a proper handicap. Right now you have to hold it down. And that's something. But if you can just see through walls and spot enemies all the time, this game's going to be broken as heck, and there's no reason that you wouldn't just run out shooting people down. So yeah. But yeah, I'm thinking like an ice cave for this level or something like that. The whole game takes place in the Arctic, and that seems like that might get stagnant after a while. But I think you can get a pretty good variety of places from like tundras and arctics. I think having a game with multiple biomes kind of ends up cheapening each biome, and that honestly it might be better to like really go into depth in one biome than have like several other biomes that you barely explore. Fully aware that guy's coming right at me. So now you can do sneak attacks like that because there's a cooldown from whenever they see you to whenever they actually attack you. Sneak past him and escape. It's not really a way to put away the knife, so you kind of just drop it and it disappears forever. But like I said, you've got infinite knives. And infinite credit cards. One of the drops that an enemy can do now is a money clip. And you can grab money clips and they go to your credit card account. Right now, I do not have enough money for anything in that vending machine, so I continue onward. See if I activate my listening mode here, and it also starts at a larger radius now, so that right off the bat you can actually see that there are things around to be scared of. And this door is one of the ones that closes itself to kind of trap you on the inside. I've realized that having patrolling enemies is one thing, but having a bunch of enemies standing idle makes the stakes for the patrolling enemies much higher, because if the patrolling enemies spot you and start fighting you, all of the idle enemies will also spot you and start fighting you. Another knife. Stab that guy. Didn't drop anything. Trying to keep track of his buddy on the other side of these boxes. I might make the boxes a little bit easier to get spotted on. That guy definitely saw me. I did not notice that while I was playing. And then I've got this area that I'm kind of trying to sneak around. Platforming is interesting and makes me... I'm never certain if it belongs in VR. But yeah, that's about what I've been doing so far. That's why I haven't uploaded, is because I haven't really made anything new that I can showcase very easily, just this notebook, and some of the climbing stuff. But other than that, I've just been working on levels, really, and I don't want to spoil those.